Welcome! If you're getting ready for your ISTQB Mobile Application Testing certification, then you are in exactly the right place. We're going to walk through the official foundation-level syllabus together, giving you a really clear, structured path to help you master all the core concepts and get you prepped for your exam. So, let's get started. You know, the mobile world has its own unique and pretty complex challenges. We're talking about immense device fragmentation, all sorts of unreliable network conditions, and technologies that seem to change by the minute. This certification is all about giving you a structured framework to really master that complexity. As you can see, the skills you're going to develop are wide-ranging, from creating a test strategy and identifying risks to applying very specific tests and using automation. These are absolutely essential for delivering high-quality mobile apps today. So, our overview is going to follow the syllabus structure pretty closely. We'll kick things off with the core mobile testing challenge itself. Then, we'll dive into the three main pillars of the curriculum: the strategy, the toolkit, and the environment. And finally, we'll wrap up with the key facts you need to know for your certification path. I like to think of this as a three-act play for becoming a mobile test specialist. Act 1 is all about the why and the what. You know, the business drivers and the big strategic risks. Act 2 gets into the how, the specific test types and processes you'll be using. And finally, Act 3 is about building the wherewithal, the practical setup of platforms, tools, and automation you need to actually execute your strategy. All right, let's start with Act I, the strategic foundation. This lines up with Chapter 1 of the syllabus, and it's all about making sure your testing is grounded in the realities of the market and the business itself. A truly professional test strategy doesn't start with guesswork. It has to start with data. And what's really key here is how it connects two crucial inputs. First up, mobile analytics. You're going to be using data on platform distribution, OS version fragmentation, even where your users are, to define what you test. Second, you have to analyze the business model. Is the app freemium? Is it ad-based? Enterprise? Each of those models creates totally different risks and priorities that will directly shape your entire test plan. You know, as a test specialist, you've got to be able to map out the entire mobile ecosystem. The syllabus requires a really precise understanding of all these components. This means being able to tell the difference between device types, from feature phones all the way to wearables, and understanding the testing implications of different app types, whether it's native, hybrid, or browser-based. And of course, you've got to recognize the architecture underneath it all, because that directly impacts where and how you're going to hunt for defects. Okay, so here's the crucial part: translating all this knowledge into a coherent strategy. This is where the syllabus connects those big challenges, like market fragmentation and device availability, to actual, concrete strategic approaches. Let's be real, you can't test everything. So, are you going to adopt a single platform approach to focus your efforts? Or maybe a multi-platform approach, where you use market data to pick a representative sample of devices? This is where risk-based testing becomes absolutely essential. All right, let's move on to Act 2 and see how this all builds. This is your tactical toolkit, and it covers chapters 2 and 3 of the syllabus. Now that we have our strategy defined, we can master the core craft, the specific test types and techniques you'll need to really put mobile applications through their paces. So, our tactical toolkit really begins with device hardware compatibility. And this isn't some abstract idea. It's about finding specific real-world defects. Does the UI break on certain screen densities? Does the app's performance just tank when the device overheats? What happens when an incoming call interrupts the app, or it suddenly loses its GPS signal? The syllabus requires you to design tests that verify the correct behavior for all these hardware interactions, including things like interrupts and permissions. Now, beyond the hardware, you have to test the app's interaction with its software and network environment. You'll need to verify that it respects the phone's OS-level preferences and that it can coexist with other installed apps without causing any conflicts. And a huge area here is connectivity testing. You'll design tests to see how the app handles switching between Wi-Fi and cellular, what it does with a spotty connection or a complete loss of signal. As the syllabus really emphasizes, making sure the app degrades gracefully is key. The syllabus then gets into the details of how to adapt common test types for the mobile world. For example, installability testing isn't just about running a setup file, it's about testing from app stores, sideloading, and over-the-air updates. We apply stress testing for low memory situations, security testing for data encryption, and performance testing for things like launch time and resource consumption. Every single one of these requires a mobile-specific point of view. And to round out the toolkit, the curriculum introduces some advanced real-world techniques. This includes additional test levels like field testing, where you literally take the app out into the wild to test on different networks and in real user environments. You'll also learn structured experience-based techniques like using personas to simulate how a user might behave, and tours to guide your exploratory testing sessions with a very specific focus. And that brings us to our final act, covering chapters 4 and 5, where we build the wherewithal for testing. Look, a world-class strategy and toolkit, they require a world-class workshop. This section is all about creating the physical and virtual environments you need to execute your tests effectively and at scale. A really critical decision when you're setting up your test environment is choosing the right mix of platforms. The syllabus requires you to know the precise difference and the right use case for each of these. Simulators, which model the software environment, are great for early-stage UI checks. Emulators model the hardware, so they're better for functional testing. But, and this is important, for testing hardware-dependent features like sensors, battery usage, or multi-touch gestures, the syllabus is crystal clear. There is absolutely no substitute for real devices. Building on that, the syllabus guides you in setting up your actual test lab. You'll need to understand the trade-offs between an on-premise lab, which gives you high security, and a cloud-based remote lab, which gives you incredible scalability. You'll also get familiar with the core tools bundled in SDKs, like Android's ADB, which lets you access logs, take screenshots, and simulate events. Now, to execute your strategy at scale, automation is a must. The syllabus covers the key automation approaches. You've got user agent-based testing for web apps and device-based testing for all app types. You'll also learn the different methods like object recognition versus image recognition, and most importantly, the criteria for evaluating and picking the right automation tools for your project's specific need. So, this brings our journey through the syllabus to its final destination, your certification. We've covered the whole process, from strategy and tactics all the way to the operational environment. Now let's just quickly review how this knowledge is actually assessed on the exam. As this flowchart shows, the certification really guides you through the complete professional process. You're going to gain the skills to move from a data-driven strategy to mastering a tactical toolkit and then to building an effective operational environment. For the exam itself, remember these key facts. You absolutely must hold the ISTQB Foundation Level certification first. That's a prerequisite. The exam has 40 multiple-choice questions, and the passing score is 65%, which means you need to get 26 answers correct. With the structured knowledge that this syllabus provides, you now have a definitive roadmap for advancing your professional skills in the super dynamic field of mobile testing. This certification isn't just another credential. It's a comprehensive framework for delivering high-quality mobile applications with real confidence. So the only question left is, are you ready to become a mobile test specialist?